student should have to fear pursuing their dreams on the college campus. What happened today is a heinous, unforgivable crime, but I want you all to know something. It's a crime that we train for each and every day. When there's an active shooter threat, the men and women of the Southern Nevada first responder community, police, fire, and EMS come together to respond quickly and decisively with zero hesitation. Within minutes, both on and off-duty responders race to the campus to prevent further loss of life. On a personal note, I'll tell you that after 1 October and all the time and effort and energy that we've put together in training with the men and women of law enforcement, the fire service, and EMS, watching how seamlessly they work together today made me very, very proud to be their sheriff. Importantly, there was a gathering just outside of the building where the students were playing games and eating food. There were tables set up for them to build Legos. And if it hadn't been for the heroic actions of one of those police officers who responded, there could have been countless additional lives taken. Armed confrontation of the suspect by law enforcement stopped the suspect's further actions. I'm proud of the courage of these officers and the UNLV campus police and how they demonstrated that today. And with that, I'm going to introduce the governor of the great state of Nevada, Joe Lombardo. Governor.
Thank you. Kevin, thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. I think it's important for people to realize the partnership that is formed as a result of my career at LVMPD and with Kevin, the sheriff himself, and the confidence that I was assured of when I got notified today. I had no doubt that the response would be appropriate, it would be swift, it would be quick, to the satisfaction of all the naysayers that we normally experience during critical incidents. And today, LVMPD did a fantastic job, along with the University PD did a fantastic job. And after the after action is settled here and our concern for the victims are bolstered and satisfied, I will be absolutely proud of the response of the first responders. I'll be absolutely proud of the community of UNLV, and I'll be absolutely proud of the community of Las Vegas and the state of Nevada. I had some formal comments to be said, but the important piece is I'm here to show the solidarity between the community and the law enforcement community and ensure on behalf of the state of Nevada, we are here to help, provide resources to the benefit of the victims, and to express my concern for the victims and favorable thoughts to the families, and to ensure that we move forward as a society and as a community, and to assure the community we are doing everything within our ability to address these situations appropriately and with the knowledge that we receive on a continual basis. So, Kevin, thank you. I appreciate that, and I think it's appropriate that the chief of UPD comes up and says a few words in the positive response of his police department. So, Chief Alex Garcia, please.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Adam Garcia. I'm the University Police Chief. First of all, let me begin by telling you all how heartbroken we are on our campus for what happened today. On behalf of the Chancellor, the Board of Regents, and President Whitfield, I am passing along our profound sense of loss for what occurred in the loss of life that took place. As the sheriff said, our officers collectively, UPD as well as Metro, responded to call for shots fired approximately 11:45. Two of our detectives responded to the scene and immediately engaged the suspect in a shootout. The suspect was struck and is deceased at this time. The campus was almost immediately closed, and out of an abundance of caution, all Nevada System of Higher Education institutions in Southern Nevada were as well closed. UNLV will remain closed for the remainder of today, tomorrow, and Friday, and additional determinations will be made as to whether or not the university will reopen next week, which will be finals week. So with that, I will turn it over to Commissioner Gibson.
Thank you, Chief. I'm Jim Gibson, the chairman of the Clark County Commission, and I'm here to express the shock that we all felt as a community, but at the same time, the enormous relief that we feel as a result of the great work of the first responders. We want everyone to know that anyone who has been affected will have the resources available to them to ensure that they have an opportunity and a pathway to work through whatever the effects have been. My colleagues on the County Commission, indeed all of us in Clark County, express our support to the university and the folks who've been affected over there. We know that this will not know the entirety of the effect of all of this for some time, but the one thing that is certain, which was spoken, I think, a few minutes ago, is that without the incredibly well-trained and effective response that was provided, a whole lot worse situation could have happened. For those who suffer loss under the circumstances, the worst has happened for them. And as a community, we need to make sure that we're mindful of them. We need to keep them in our prayers, and we need to respond in every other way that we possibly can in order to meet the needs that are so great at this time, this kind of a thing, and at this time in our lives here in this county. And now I would turn it over, the microphone over to Chief Steinbeck, who will talk just a little bit about what some of the resources are that are available. Chief.
Thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate it. Adam, great job. Thank you very much, and great job by LVMPD and certainly all the participating agencies there. Yes, immediately we started to go ahead, and we had people that aren't there on scene start to build up the resources for the recovery. Recovery starts actually before the incident even begins, and certainly as the incident unfolds. So we do have over at the Las Vegas Convention Center in the North Hall, we have opened up a family assistance center there. It's similar to the one that we opened up after 1 October, obviously smaller in scale, but ready to provide many of the same services, which include behavioral health services. UNLV has student services there. We have religious leaders there. Legal Aid of Nevada is there. Any resources that we might find necessary, whether they're immediate or in the long term, as the commissioner said. Also at the Vegas Justice and Resiliency Center, that'll be open. That is the center that was opened up following 1 October, a long-term resiliency center. That is also ready to assist those in need, and will take over the long-term recovery operation following the immediate reunification and the services that are provided at the Family Assistance Center. You can access those services in person or online, and the online is at the FAC, which stands for Family Assistance Center, FAC of southernnevada.org. You can also call 211, in which you'll be directed over to the call center, or the direct call to the call center is 702-455-AIDE, or 702-455-2433. And so those numbers are available for all of those services. Again, as was spoken before, hearts go out to the families. Certainly wasn't lost there on the scene after it was de-escalating. That college means a lot to us, right? And that's where I went. That's where my wife went. That's where my children went. So hearts go out to UNLV and certainly any of the families of the people that have been affected by this. Thank you.
I'm Carolyn Goodman, Mayor of the City of Las Vegas. And after all these years and the tragedies that have happened around our country, but right here, it's something for the families that we've lost, who've had this tragedy, bespeak everything that is not good about our country, what's wrong, and how we have to teach our children to handle stress and be able to work through anger and hate in other ways. I don't have the particulars of who we have lost. I think this is all with the sheriff. I know our first responders were incredible, all facets of law enforcement immediately pulling together, and I'm so grateful and proud of them. I do have someone very close to me who was out on the campus at the time, and want to commend the security out at UNLV for their instantaneous reaction and calming those who could be calmed and making the lockdown bearable with all that fear. The fear that permeated every one of those children, every one of those professors. It's a very difficult time, and it's time for us, as the adults, enough. It is enough. And it is people filled with anger or not understanding how to handle disappointment in their lives that they become even more hateful and full of anger and take lives of others. So my condolences on behalf of the entire city and the community to those we've lost, those families that are so distraught and lost today and in the future. And Sheriff, I must commend you. And former Sheriff Lombardo, you did set this up. And Sheriff, thank you. What a tragic time for us. But it's a time to make it a positive and do something. We must fix this now. And allowing me to speak. Thank you, Sheriff. And congratulations.
Thank you.
As soon as I listened to the comments of the other speakers, it took me back to when the undersheriff and I were over at the scene and watching as we had to go through floor by floor, room by room, building by building. And I've seen some of the commentary about how long this has taken. But just like in 1 October, numerous other calls were coming in about different shootings that were occurring. We're having to breach every single door. We're finding groups of students that were huddled. It took us a long time to evacuate and then recheck. We will be conducting this investigation into the wee hours of the morning, there is no doubt. I know you have an insatiable appetite like I do to find out why, to understand motivation, and we will provide that to you at the appropriate time. But with that being said, I'd just like to end on the fact that we watched a lot of fear across the faces of those young men and women at UNLV today. And it's unfortunate that they had to live through that. But again, I'm proud of that first responder community for getting over there and doing that. So with that, I'll take a couple of questions.
Sir, can you tell us anything about the weapon or what?
I'm sorry, you have to tell me who's talking. I can't see. Hi, Dana.
Can you tell us anything about the weapon or weapons that were used?
Not yet, Dana. I just want to reserve until I have a little bit better information on exactly what was used.
So you don't know
We haven't moved the body yet.
you don't know if they were purchased legally?
I don't have any details on the weapon yet, but we will provide that to you.
Dr. Figueroa with Channel 8 News KLAS. What's the affiliation of the victims to UNLV? Were there students, professors, staff?
I'm not prepared to release that information yet either. Like I said, I know you guys are hungry for that, but we haven't been able to run each and every one of those leads down, and I don't want to provide you misinformation at that. Ricardo, last one.
Did the shooting originate outside, or did it begin outside, and about how long were shots fired?
It originated on the 4th floor of that beam building, went to multiple floors, and the suspect was neutralized on the outside by the UNLV Police Department. So we'll be providing you the next news conference information as we get it. Thanks for coming.
Sheriff, can you
You've been watching an update from authorities on the University of Nevada, Las Vegas campus shooting. We're going to take a quick break. More news ahead. You're streaming CBS News.